kids smaller than us stay all night with them, like every single night. We decided that the best thing we could do is go to the people at school and tell them. So we went to the assistant principal, told him. He said, "Don't repeat that to nobody." He said, "I'm going to get you to see the real principal." We go see, who's also a member of that church. Me and Billy both tell him the story, and he says, "Don't repeat that to nobody. Don't say nothing to nobody." And nothing ever came of it. And that really, really messed my view of religion up. It was, it was a really dark moment. Like I questioned everything about God. The person who had me believing in God ended up being a pedophile, and nobody cared.
Did you get caught eventually?
He's still a school teacher and he still runs the outreach program here. And I'm sure by now he's got thousands of victims. And I know a bunch of his victims also. Like I've talked to other, they didn't get believed just like I didn't believe them. I'd heard the stories and I was like, oh man, you're crazy. And then when it was my turn, nobody believed me neither. So, he's a respected member of the community, but he is a pedophile, and he uses his job and his spot in the church to pick out targets. And like I said, he picks the most vulnerable people he can find, the problematic kids that he can lie about. Nobody's going to believe him. That has issues at home, and I'm sure he's even had a couple of the kids that he's messed up for life. Went a lot further with them that didn't know better. Because I remember even a little kid that was he was my foster brother. I had to help him get on the bus every day. Him and his little sister. They're like 5 and 7. Even the little 7-year-old boy used to down out with them all the time. So. I'm old enough to know that a man's not supposed to grab the youth pastor is not supposed to grab my penis while I'm asleep. But these 7-year-old kids are, they're not ready for that
Any
at
reason
all.
for your call, Irving, from federal, whatchamacallit?
Anything else you'd like to get into?
Yeah, that's heavy. What?
I thought, you can edit that. I was just giving you what I know, man.
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
Oh, okay.
So do you use drugs still?
Yes, I do. I've done Suboxone for 10 years. When I went to prison, I started doing Suboxone. When I got out of prison, I kept doing them because they really are like, they're exactly the same thing as opiates. But the thing about it is it let me have control of my life. Like I didn't have to chase drugs every day. I could do some in the morning and not worry about drugs every day. And then for the last 2 months, I went backwards and I've done heroin for the last 2 months. I had a house fire. There's no excuse for it. But I've had a house fire and some thefts from my business and my house after it was on fire. Everything that didn't burn was stolen.
Hey, you still there?
And so I am using drugs. I use heroin every day.
When you said this
Are you married or kids? Like
I'm not married and I don't have no kids.
You're still young yet, so you can straighten your life out.
do I have to move?
Yeah, I do prefer Suboxones over the heroin. The only thing is you can't go from heroin to Suboxone instantly. Like I said, I've only done it for 2 months. And the first 3 or 4 weeks of it, I was doing Suboxone and heroin. And I actually done it because I had a toothache. So I done some heroin. I had a agonizing toothache, so I done some, hoping it would make. My mother actually gave it to me. So that's another story. But she actually offered it to me, and she's been on it. She was down here, been caught for trafficking in Clay County multiple times.
Why do you think drugs are so prevalent here in Appalachia? Because I've been in West Virginia many times, and it's everywhere there as well.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason for that. People want to, escape. This is this is a really simple lifestyle down here. You can live down here with no money. Like people are really good people down here. As crazy as it is, a lot of them are on drugs. But if you're hitchhiking, you can get a ride down here. If you don't got nowhere to stay, you can stay with your neighbor down here. Like people, everybody knows everybody, and it's like family down here. So
No
And
idea. I would
but the
have to
reason
come
people are on
back here,
drugs
let
is
alone
because
stay a night.
they have nothing else to turn to.
Damn it, I knew it.
You know, everybody wants to feel
Wow,
good.
that didn't even
In the
cross my
city,
mind.
there's all kinds of things you can go to make you feel good. You can go to the movies and hang out with friends, and
Let's just forget
down
it.
here, you can't do that. There's no movie theater. There's no place for kids other than church. And like I said, if you're down here, you might want to keep your kids out of this church down here. And drugs is like what everybody turns to. And then like I said, they call this the city of hope.
Never come back.
I remember one time somebody took some spray paint and knocked off the H and put a D there. And made it to say the sign that coming in say the city of dope.
Fine.
And drugs are worth a lot more money down here than they are in the city.
No
So
keys,
with
no
drugs being
garage
worth a
door.
lot more money,
Get out of here without freezing.
even in the city, I know people like, oh, I'm buying all the drugs up and I'm bringing them down here. A lot of people transport their drugs down here because they are worth more money. I'll tell you something else down here, like even the police, and like I was talking about the government. Were you familiar with any of that before you came?
No.
Like our mayor getting locked up
I
for
didn't know any of that.
being a sex offender, and he was sleeping with like a 13-year-old girl. We had 18 of our elected officials arrested at one time, and that's actually when my dad. I told you my dad sold one pill. That's actually why he ended up getting arrested too, caught up in the election fraud, and he actually was one of the people who couldn't get away from that got away from the election fraud, and the feds don't like to lose, so they came back and got him for anything they could. And that was, he actually gave a pill to a guy, who had a camera on him, and showed the guy a gun. The guy said to my dad like there was people out acting crazy these days, and my dad pulled out a gun and said, "Let them act crazy around here. I got something for them." And like I said, he gave the guy a pill. The guy said his back was hurting, and it wasn't no major pill. It was a Lorcet or something. Like
Hello?
a $10 or $15 pill down here.
Is that
Very minor pill.
well, moving.
And
What's up?
so he wore the camera and the wire, and they see my dad have the gun, give the guy a pill, and also snort a pill with the guy. So they charged him with like drug abuse by a gun owner or something like that. I guess having a gun and even doing a drug like where he snorted it. What was that charge? I can't remember the charge, but he also got charged with like a career armed criminal because when he was 18 years old, he hit a guy with an extinguisher and stole $100 from him and got robbery. And that was when I was born. He was in the hospital for that. I was actually conceived in the jail down here. My uncle was the jailer. Before my dad went to prison, my uncle let him go out to this little picnic area, and that's where I was conceived. So my dad tells me right before he went away.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew. Well, thank you so much for sharing your interesting story.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but man, that's
Okay,
heavy.
I say we get that guy in trouble, man. That might be.
Well, I mean, if I
that might
use
be another whole documentary. Getting into something like that, like documenting. That's a big topic right now.
huge one.
Sex offending people with power.
Yeah.
Which nobody here's got the kind of power.
Irving, it's me again, obviously. I could really use a shower.
Sure, you'll just...
So, Clarence,
Yeah.
are you a hillbilly?
Oh, yeah, I'm a hillbilly. I'm from the hill, man. I'm from the hill there. I go up on the hill, get a billy goat, you real about to go up in the heaven there, like old gray head, like a goat, man. Get a billy goat bring me down there, man. Hide my den, hide in Kentucky, man. Keep all my kin tucked in Kentucky, man. Hide in Kentucky, that's my den, hide in Kentucky. That's why I made a rhyme about that. Them old hillbilly, man. Right from the Appalachian Mountain, hiding in Kentucky, there. Hillbilly go up on the hill, up on Jesus' hill, get the old goat himself, the old gray-headed goat, and bring him down and talk to you, Jesus. Well, right there. Tell you talking about the Lord, that must come, so when tell you talk to him, guys, listen. Them old hillbilly, man. Got another radio turn, got about 70, 80 songs, I got music to me, it's place them out and finish them up. Yeah.
So, Clarence.
Okay.
Clarence, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Well, I'm from Lacey County, Kentucky, right there, Hyden, Kentucky, right there, and
You grew up with both your parents?
I lived with my granddad raised me from the time I come to the hospital to I was 6, and my grandma passed on there, and I went to see my daddy and mom until I was about 8, and my daddy and mom got divorced, and I went to, I come up here on Bullskin, 1482 Bullskin Road, Bullskin, Kentucky, right there. And I stayed here till I was 13, and my grandpa took me back home right there. And I stayed with him till I got a job when I was about 19 right there at Save-A-Lot, working as a butcher. And,
What kind of jobs did you have throughout your life?
well, I only worked, I worked at Save-A-Lot for a few years as a butcher, as the head butcher to the boss of the meat department. And then, I worked a little factory up there in Jackson, right there, animal right there, as a line worker right there on the. I got disabled there, and then I started doing my Social Security. I just got about 7 or 8 years in. Yeah, I started doing Social Security.
Did you ever work in a coal mine like a lot of guys do?
Yeah, no, I don't work in the coal mine. Yeah, they about gone around here. Yeah. And then when I was a little boy right there, I wanted me a guitar right there, and Daddy got one when I was about 7 or 8, 7 right there, I believe it was. And I've been playing music, writing songs ever since I was about 7 or 8.
Is there a lot of musicians in your family?
Yeah, but everybody around I got a cousin in Indiana right there, Mark Roberts there. He got a Southern Rock band. He plays for my granddad right there. He used to be a banjo picker there, Sam Cass there, and he played a banjo and I got a cousin John. He's like me. He plays with ear. He plays anything ear. You can get a song, just pick it up and play it by ear. You know, and a bunch of musicians in my family. My favorite thing was fighting chickens though. Yeah, I've been fighting chickens since I was about 10 right there.
So like cockfighting?
Yeah, cockfighting, yeah. And
is that what you do for a living now?
no, I don't do it for a living. I do it for fun. I raise them and sell them right there. Because you can take them back. I got some pure John Jumper Kelso right there.
What does a cockfighting rooster get you?
Well, in the Philippines, that's selling $40,000 a piece right there.
How much?
40,000. You can take like $1,000 down Sunset, Louisiana, right there, what's legal. That's $1,000 each fair, and that $200 each show. That's $250,000 every weekend.
So cockfighting is legal in Louisiana.
Louisiana,
but here in Kentucky, it's not.
Yeah, about 2 months ago, there they fly drones and piss it over together and fire them and film right there. And then I was taking the court there, had them film and everything for fighting chickens. And they shut it down. I used to get a Gamecock magazine from the military about 2 months ago right there. They quit sending the magazine and everything right there. Yeah. They shut it down. It's illegal. 1976 it was against the law to fight chickens. In 1834 right there, in England right there, they shut it down right there. They outlawed it in England right there. In 1976 they shut it down over here.
So you raise and sell.
Yeah, raise and sell. That's something you do. If you raise and farm, you send them to like the Philippines and Sunset, Louisiana, and Mexico, so where it's legal at. If they get you in here, they get about 14 months. 14 months to fight chickens first offense.
So tell me about what is it about roosters that they like to kill each other?
That's just like you know boxers and stuff. It's like a boxer. They say they have to be like a Highlander show there. They can be only one. When they say rooster, their heads start saying, they fire their heads up, and that's what they do. They like route.
Yeah, I've seen it before where they just, if they're exposed to each other, they're going to try to kill each other.
Yeah, that's the basic thing. They're the dominant male. They don't. They have to be boss or die. The death do us part. There can be only one. Yep. And
playing my old bass, totally unplugged.
So how much schooling did you get, Clarence?
I was on the 5-year plan, so I like 3 grades graduating there. So I went to got that James Bass course there, 7 books with there, went to Adult Learning Center there.
So you eventually got a high school education?
GED, general education, yeah. And I mostly studied, I didn't go to college, and I mostly studied anatomy and breeding, anything to do with chicken, and music, guitars, and things like that. And I like martial arts, ninja and karate and stuff. Yeah, that's my favorite.
What do you do for money now?
I do Social Security right there. Instead of chicken, that's what I'm doing. I'm retired.
How much money do you get a month?
About $15,000 a year, about $12 a month. That's all they give. You know, so
$15,000 a year.
Yeah, about $14,000 a year. About $14,000 where that was at. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's Social Security down.
So this part of Appalachia is one of the poorest parts of the country.
Yeah,
it's probably the poorest.
Yeah, there ain't no jobs in here. If you want to get a job, you have to go like 2 hours, about an hour and a half drive to London or way down Jackson. We're around here all the yards, coal mine logging. And coal mines about that, like Obama and Hillary Clinton gonna start war on coal to put a lot of coal companies and coal mine business and there. They shut us down. They're gonna put Cadillac converters on your heat stuff. You gotta heat stuff. Pollution. That's what they fight for the air right there.
Yeah, so coal mining is fading away, and there's really no other options. No company wants to open up a factory here because it's so remote.
Yeah, it's so remote. Yeah, but if we get a factory, people have jobs. But most people they get ground here and they just move water. There ain't nobody around, man. Yeah, cause like right here, I live 3.5 miles up 1480 Bullskin Road right there. And there's 2 houses right next door, and nothing down through there, all the way to the store right there. And you talk to they make the gamers around here, what they get on right there. They ain't nothing but gamers, animals. Nobody live around here, nothing. Yep. And
So the median income of some of the counties here, it was higher in 1979 than it is today.
Yeah. You start there.
It seems like this way of life is just fading away.
Yeah, they said you start there, you start working one coal company right there, and right now they the average pay. Last time my dad worked there, he was like in 90 right there. He'd make 11 something an hour right there.
Are you
And now the
fucking
normal
with me?
pay is like they start you at like $20, $21 an hour right there.
It would have been
And
more
they
useful
said
to know
you
that
start there, you
before
can
I
work at
got
one coal
locked
company
in.
right there, and quit here, and go down to the next house there, next coal company,
Yeah,
haul you in
I could have
and
died
finish
in
your day
there.
up. Yeah, but now if you want a job, you take a job at a restaurant or a grocery store or something like that. There ain't no loggers or coal company and logging back down because all the timber's back down. It's like 20 years. You take a tree and it takes about 20, 25 years before it get better tolerance right there. Yeah.
What are your favorite things about Appalachia?
Well, it's the mountains and game and just the climate. It's a good place to live there if you know if you find somebody to make a living right there.
And what are the worst things about living here?
The snow and winter and it's cold right there, but man gets a wheelchair and put them on right there, man, you go anywhere right there. Take a wheelchair with cleats in right there, you go biggest hill around here, just digging in the ice like snow cleats right there, an ice cleat chain. When I started sailing like that, we were the boss, he said the first thing I want you to do is go over to Advance there and get a set of wheelchair, because so it snows or whatever, I want you here every time right there. So I got me a set of wheelchair and I passed forward drive over this, and them young boys right there, I just stayed right on by them right there, like my boss showed me right there. And I worked there for the discman at Sunset, about 3 or 4 counties over there. He come by and test me there, and he showed me every piece of meat and everything you do there, and he checked me out. He got to the store man, he go up front, said, if anything called
About
Sunset there,
time.
said, you buy
When's he
for this,
getting
you
here?
run a meat for it. I run it, I got retired there, man.
Have you traveled before?
I've traveled, I've been up north, Indiana, Ohio, and down,
I'm
got
just gonna
smoking
hole
around to
up in my
Tennessee,
room and
Dollywood
cry,
down there,
if
and
it's okay with
been
you.
over to North and West Virginia, and first west I've been is out Somerset, about 30 counties over. Yeah, and I ain't been very far.
I mean, do you see that the technology that's taken over the world is kind of leaving Appalachia behind?
Yeah, well, yeah. If we go, you go out, out long, it's about an hour and a half drive. You know, I-75 there, the hub of
Only
Eastern
Paul
Desert there,
Good
I-75.
news.
And you go out there and they start you at the factory, they're $15, $20 an hour right there. That's been on place. They out in the factory. That's where I go to London. And my cousin and all my cousin, that's what they do. Move out London to a real place, right by them, place there really close to work. Because you drive an hour and a half there, and then you drive an hour and a half back right there, and then you get the house there, and if you don't get plenty of rest there, you feel like hell forever right there, man. So they just move right there, so it's like commute, man.
Do you find
Some
having,
serious water stains
your
on the
accent is very thick. The Appalachian accent is
Yeah.
so thick that when you go to places like Ohio or
Yeah,
Indiana,
no, yeah, time. You can feel like Martin, I was saying about them Southern Rock band up in Indiana right there. They come in, they sound like they city folks on there. They talk with choir and everything. Yeah,
so
they're
it makes it difficult for you to move to a bigger city
yeah,
to change your life, right?
yeah.
So you're kind of stuck here.
Yeah,
The whole
he
way
was
on
he
Sunday
retired.
was
He's
cut
66.
off.
He was
The door
66
to the
the
west wing
17th
was
of
locked.
September. To him, day was the same age there, and he retired from some factory in Indiana. Up
Leonard's
there.
attic is
Yeah.
at the end of the
And you have
hallway,
friends here?
Yeah, I got a few friends. I'm kind of quiet and shy. I keep to myself right there. Yeah, I got a few friends. I got a friend named Jordan. He started out there at Walmart DC out long.
Have you been in love before?
I was married once.
What did you
Yeah,
say?
I married a girl named Lisa Jean Baldwin over on Old River Road in Clay County there. And we stayed together about
Is this a
5
joke?
years. And then
Who
I
is this?
got that fellow. They said it was a canvas psychosis. It was schizophrenia there. Said you was having hallucinations from police weed right there. And I ain't done that forever right there. I mean, I thought that perception in your brain, see things in your brain there, see and hear things, the perception in your brain there. I perceived no hear anything that they've got. And when I cleared up there, it went real there, and I thought she let that about buzzing, and I just left her and didn't go back there, and she wasn't happy, and we just got divorced, man.
The schizophrenia you got is under control now?
Yeah, it really ain't schizophrenia. The doctor's diagnosed. First time he said it was schizophrenia, but it wasn't. It was canvas psychosis. What it was.
You're fine now?
Yeah, I'm fine now. Yeah, it's cleared up.
So Clarence, do you have children?
I got one boy. Yeah,
No
Clarence
one
still in
can
Castor. He'll be 20 years old, 26th of August.
I better keep doing
He's
the
going to
inspection.
2000.
Do you raise him?
I raised him
You
before.
really think
He was
I'm
about 4
so
when
right
we
now?
broke up. When I left, when we got divorced there, and he stayed with his mother and his
There's
I
nothing
was
to
savage.
clear up. You delivered
my
supplies to the
final out there.
hotel. You
Yeah, I was
met
Judy
Leonard,
Bowden.
period.
How old are you?
I turned 44 the 15th this month, 15th August.
I've
You're
got a
44?
different problem.
44.
What's the most important
Someone just
lesson
called the
you've learned in
hotel.
life?
What? Who?
Get in bed early when the alarm
was a
clock they
bad
feed at the
connection.
floor and do your 9 to 5 and get
They
retarded
said
because
Rachel
and
is
stay what
alive.
stay and throw that
Don't
drugs and
sell the
alcohol, man.
hotel.
You gotta work, yeah. May not work, it start doesn't die.
Something else that doesn't make sense.
Gotta work.
The phone
All right.
lines are
You want
down.
to play a little music?
Yeah,
Leonard stopped paying the bill months ago.
yeah.
I'll
Alright.
ask someone to run a check.
Yeah, I write my own songs right there, and this is
authority.
I got about 70 out right there that I ain't never put music to. I got about 12 right there that I've got them complete right there. So this is my single here, laid out single here, like your first song right there. And I don't know if you like it or not, but I'll play you one. All right.
I think I get it. Almost.
That girl.
This is called Cartoon USA. Yep.
It was the result of painful events.
I need to flesh it out a little more. It's in the workshop. This is a little demo.
Talking about
Okay.
anyone in particular?
Alright.
Her death ruined
Hold on now.
families that everyone looked up to. Yours
Put a little
and
juice here or something.
your father, McGrath, the genius astrophysicist, and Rachel's father, the upstanding Reverend Foster.
They can go get fucked.
We got some ladies out a little bit. What baby more than a place where we all get down with the homemade wine party all the time. Come on down to the country party down here, say party down here where the girls are hot, we love to drink and smoke pot. And party the night where the little go down on the lake, cook a pig in the ground, and drink and dance and party the night away with the old skid crank way up. Also come on down and have a good time. Party down USA. Party down USA. We love to go down on the lake, cook a pig in the ground, drink and dance and party the night away. So come on down and have a good time. Party down USA. Party down USA. Yep. I got one more. You want to hear one more? This is the best one. This is good. This is by my granddaddy called Country Boys Howl right there. Yeah, granddad's a whiskey run. You want to hear this?
It's going to be hard to beat that.
I can
Okay.
still hear that guy telling me Rachel's
I've looked at a little juice here or
Calls
something.
back, go
I
into
must have
special
fallen asleep.
protocol mode.
Which is?
This Clarence Cass is Country Boy Howl here. It's good in here.
You had a tough day yesterday.
Granddad's a whiskey run. Got these people in the house running how I love it. Got them little silly nugget, little chopper, and 8 chops to the same one.
I need you to pay attention, though.
Should I worry?
The storm brought down some power lines. There are blackouts all over.
Oh, I wonder why that doesn't surprise me.
The electricity
Okay,
generator
almost
could go
there.
bust.
I think the
Don't
lights
like
are
the
getting
idea of you
worse.
up there on your own in the dark. You need to move fast or something. On the same floor
My
of your
electrical
apartment,
know-how
in the
is
staff area,
slightly
there's a small
limited.
storeroom. It's okay. Your father asked us several
All right, Beaver.
Yeah,
Beaver. Tell me where you grew up. Where are you from originally?
Harlan County, Kentucky.
Harlan County. And
Dingo.
and tell me about your childhood. You had both your parents when you were a kid.
Both my parents, yeah.
No.
What kind of childhood do you
I
have?
remember the panels were really
Well,
hard to open.
my family have 8. I have 12 of us. I was 8 younger. I had a lot of hand-me-down, but I had a pretty decent life. I mean,
Yeah, this is a poor part of the country, and
Yeah.
your family was probably poor.
My dad had to go out and work. He worked out of state.
What'd your dad do?
He carpenter work,
Carpenter.
built tables, coat tables.
And how was mom?
My mom, she's a housewife. You know, she raised the garden, told us what we know, what we really know. Mom, Dad, they gone 5 days out of the week. Come on weekend.
Push the lever.
Now he stays drunk all weekend.
And you left home at what age?
13 when I stayed home.
What kind of kid were you?
Arrow when the technician
Hard to handle. Oh man, he whooped me all the time.
It's called growing
And
up.
I just coming up hollering, I'd leave. I'd hit the mountains. My mom would break me up.
So you left home at 13
At 13, yeah.
and went up to where?
I went to slept in barns, people's garages, buildings, basement smokehouses.
You finished high school?
Huh?
Did you go to high school?
I went about a year in high school.
Yeah.
And just didn't interest me.
What's wrong?
I always wanted something else, something bigger, something better.
What kind of things have you done for work in your life?
Carpenter, built a couple houses.
Okay, stay.
Like block and brick, rock, carpenter work, shingles, tin.
There should be some
And I learned that. I learned that out of my dad and brother.
Right. And you make moonshine.
Yes, I made moonshine. Yes.
And tell me about moonshine. How do you make moonshine?
Well, you gotta make beer first. You gotta put malty corn. Then once it sprouts, you gotta ground it up. Then put it in a barrel of water. Then you add water. Then you add your yeast. Then you add your meal. And then you add your sugar. More sugar you make, more liquor you got. So you got a 55-gallon drum. You put 50 pounds sugar. Then you wait it germinate. And you taste it every couple of days. And it turns into beer. Then you put it in a still. Then you run it through a copper worm. Then you got a pump keg. And then it runs into you run your worm into cold water. And once that steam hits that cold water, it just turns into alcohol. It turns in. It lifts off in a jug in a jar.
And it ends up clear as water, right?
Clear as water, yeah.
What is? There's a bottle of it right in front of you. What is moonshine like? Is it like vodka? Is it like?
Well, it's got its own taste.
It's harder than whiskey or vodka, right?
More like a bourbon than it is anything else.
A lipstick.
Comes out still about 140 proof.
140 proof.
Then you got to take good clear water to temper it down to where you want 80 proof or 90 proof or 100 proof. Old man always drunk 100 proof liquor.
I remember
If anything 100 proof, it won't hurt you.
girls at school.
That's what they told me.
And how do you drink it? You don't drink it, right?
Yeah, you sip on it.
You just put your lips to it, really.
That you drink quick, you drunk quick. You know, it knock you, knock you on your ass pretty quick.
Brand doesn't
And moonshine is popular here in this part of the country?
Yes, it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people we've talked to said, "Can you get me any moonshine?" And
Yeah,
told them I'm going to talk to you, and they said, "Yeah, get me some."
it's pretty easy to find.
Yeah,
Got a couple people you can find it.
and it's illegal.
It's illegal, yeah.
Yeah. What are the penalties like for making moonshine?
A lipstick.
Well, it's jail, it's federal offense, still federal offense.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have it still, but you can't have it put together.
Things customers forget.
I.
What's the purpose of having a drink that's so strong?
You're probably.
Well, they say the stronger the better. I mean, it won't kill all the worms in you, you know. They say that cheap liquor, rot guts.
Right.
It hurts you. Only man always drunk 100 proof liquor.
Your dad used to drink it?
Yeah, you done it all the time. Man, ain't working.
And tell me about your life. So you got married at one point?
Yeah, got married in 90. Went together 20-some years before she died, 21 years really. She died of cancer in 2011.
And you have a daughter?
Had one daughter, yeah. She was born in 2014.
Since you're
Since my woman died, yeah.
yeah.
This girl got me over her.
I got
And then this girl ended up, that one wish had come true. I wish we had a young before I died. I raised 3 step youngins, you know. Her boy was a year and a half old when we got together.
Mm.
Now, I brought both my girls down the aisle. The real dad they're still living, but
Let me finish.
that's the only time I wore trucks in my life, was them 2 weddings.
Stuff,
Yeah.
and I want to
Tell me about living in Appalachia. It's one of the poorest parts of the country.
It's hard to get a dollar, you know.
Hard to make money here. Very few jobs.
Unless you got garden work or, odd jobs for people.
And coal mining, which used to be the only option,
Yeah,
is
coal
fading
job,
away.
but I didn't like coal mining.
says Rachel is
'Cause it's dangerous. Or logging, I didn't like logging because it's dangerous.
feels like
Yeah.
something weird's going on. Rachel's in a holiday. And don't forget
Do you consider yourself a hillbilly?
Yes, 100%.
classmate Rachel.
Tell me about what is a hillbilly? Is it a derogatory term? Is it a negative term?
Well, it's hillbilly is born and raised. You raised on the land. You live off the land if you wanted to.
You're proud of being a hillbilly.
I'm proud of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take nothing else. Wouldn't be nothing else.
And what is a hillbilly? Tell me, what's your definition of a hillbilly?
Live on your own. Live off the land. Don't take pride in everything you do. And that's about it.
It's almost like an outlaw
Yeah, I've been outlaw.
for
yeah.
this part of the country, right?
That long from the law, yeah. But I've had my share in jail time.
Have you?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff got you in jail?
Drugs.
Drugs? You used to use drugs?
Yeah, I do drugs, yeah.
You still do?
I have once in a while.
What have you played with in the past?
Cocaine, heroin, a few times, marijuana. I still smoke marijuana every once in a while.
I think the first time I photographed you, you had a whole field of marijuana, didn't you?
Yeah. That's 12 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a risk I already
And living here, I mean, what are the upsides and downsides of Appalachia? I mean, the doctors and dentists are very few and far between, right?
Yeah, it's hard to pay bills if you ain't got no income.
Yeah.
But I do SSI now, though, but
Right.
because my health.
How old are you now?
I'm 58.
58.
Yeah.
And have you traveled? Have you been to other parts of the country?
Yeah, I've been to Chicago, Florida, Georgia.
Mhm.
Places like that. But I didn't like the city life. I stayed in Chicago 5 years, but I worked up there, but
Yeah.
make big money, spent big money.
Yeah.
There ain't no place like home.
This is one of the most beautiful parts of the country.
It is.
It might be one of the poorest and toughest to survive, but
Yeah,
it's,
it is.
it's spectacularly beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Are you happy?
I'm happy here, yeah.
Yeah.
I sure am.
Yeah, you always seem to be. I photographed you for my first book, and you seem to be
Yeah, sure enough.
truly loving this life.
Yeah.
What are your best memories in your life?
Daddy?
Best memories, I guess, being with my family, have family reunions.
Yeah.
But I don't have that no more. And tell me then to get together now, they're all one of spots all the time. And one of us.
Tell me more about Appalachia. There's hunting here. There's a lot of animals, right?
Yeah, a lot of animals. You know, bear, turkeys, deer.
Yeah.
You know, but my woman, she wasn't fixing nothing like that. You know, she wanted everything bought out of the store. I wouldn't see it unless she wouldn't eat it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, you know, to me, I'd eat anything. You know, like that. But she wasn't like that. She went from the store. She wouldn't eat it.
At the same time.
What's the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
What are you trying to say?
Be honest. Be honest. Be honest about it. Honest is the best policy. I learned that the hard way.
Listen, sweet pea.
You know, I stole stuff in my life, but it don't pay.
Listen to my voice.
It does not pay. Honest is the best policy. It's hard to do around this neighborhood, you know. It feels good to pass to get a lick up, though.
You know
It
how
does.
much I love you.
You know, I've done it 20 years, you know. I had no retirement, but, you know, hell, I had to make some kind of living.
Yeah.
It's nothing to brag about.
What regrets do you have in your life?
But, pardon?
Do you have any regrets?
Yeah, a whole lot of regrets. I stole off my family, you know, this and that, you know, people that goes up my life. It took me 40 years to realize, you know, what was wrong with my life. I took them back here by myself. Better off that way, I guess, you know. I worry about nobody else. Bother me. It won't even bother nobody else.
How is your personality different than everyone else in your family?
Well, I'm the last boy that was born and got 3 fingers, I guess. And just oddball of the bunch. I mean, I'm the only one that ever had a public job. I always survived on my own, pick up pop cans, made bottles for a living, you know. Just try to live off, you know, live off the land. And, you know, my head like it, that's all I got, you know. Before I got here, everything's mine out here. You know, I've got it somehow, people give it to me, and I've got out of garbage dumps and this and that.
So you live up on the top of a mountaintop all by yourself here?
Yeah.
I don't think the cops could even find you if they wanted to.
They've been here a time or two.
Yeah.
They've been here.
Everyone in this town knows you.
Yeah, they got. I don't know them, but they know me.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people knows me, but I don't know them. In different states.
Yeah. What are you famous for?
Jesus, you can be really long-winded.
I grow in pot, I guess.
Moonshine, pot.
Moonshine pot, yeah.
So tell me about your life. You still have hope for things in your life, or?
I like to see my girl's 18th birthday. That's the only thing I hope for in life now.
Did they hear about the
You know,
old farting ghost?
that's 11 more years. I don't know if I'll make it 11 more years or not. But I don't quit my ways. You know. She'll be 7 in May.
Let me
Yeah.
hear it.
I was 52 years old when she was born.
Do you have friends here?
Yeah, I got all kinds of friends, yeah. But so-called friends, you know. When you're down and out, that's when you know who your friends are, or you're in jail one.
Tell me about your hand. What happened to your hand?
Well, that fella right there, Everett Caldwell, we was chopping wood in '74. Killing it. My old man played cards all night, come in, wanted to build a fire. And we was outside, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And we was outside chopping kindling on a big old chop block. And I laid up a piece of wood about 6 inches round to chop kindling. He was coming down with the axe and cut slant with a chainsaw. And I grabbed his head back up. That's when he come down with the axe and cut it off. Cut this one. He was about half in two. And I raised it up like that, slapped my hand together like that and passed out. Think down over, I was in the hospital.
So show me your hand. You're missing.
My little pinky. And I remember I had 2 weeks in winter time and I had 2 or 3 sweatshirts on. And I remember cutting up on my arm and them digging in there in my arm, jumping by itself, squirting blood everywhere.
How long does it take to get to a hospital here?
About 2 hours, they had to give me 3 pints of blood. It happened over here on the other side, where the picture was taken, where I lost my finger at.
Right.
But maybe these days they could put it back on, but back in '74 they didn't.
Yeah. And he was your friend, and he remained your friend after removing your finger.
He's my brother-in-law, yeah.
Yeah.
He dated my sister.
Yeah.
And it was an accident, you know. He felt guilty a long time, but you know.
Do you ever wonder what your life would have been like if you'd been born in New York City, or?
Oh, it'd been pitiful. I'd probably been dead by now. Probably. I'd say, you know, I've been, you know, every time tell it. You know, I've had a good life where I looked at it, you know. Never was hard, never was greedy, you know. Took a small amount and went on about my business. I never steal nothing that I didn't really need.
I'd say.
You know, I just be honest with you. I mean, I was on the court system. I always told the truth. That's what Mom always told.
With the TV show.
So what do you do for enjoyment at this point in your life? What makes you happy?
Well, I'm always happy. Long as I got $1 in my pocket or or a joint, I'm happy. I mean, I got something to eat. You know, my dogs are hungry, ain't hungry. You know, hardly ask nobody for nothing. You know, I do that before I have to ask somebody. That's always been that way. If I can't get it on my own, I'll do without it.
I found the room.
It's always been that way.
But someone buried
When you were a kid, did you have dreams of doing something in life?
Yeah,
What kind of stuff?
been a cop.
Being a cop.
Yeah,
You ended up the opposite of that.
I was a big fella when I was 12.
around somewhere, but
Grand theft and breaking and entering. But I stopped that in the head.
one in the garage. Is it the
Yeah.
generator room? I'll let you know.
I was 18 years old before I got out of grade school. I
No.
was one side of teacher and going to school. I was 18 before I got out of grade school. When I graduated from 8th grade, I was on my 18th birthday.
Really?
Yeah, when I graduated from Green Hill, yeah.
Can't
Well, I wouldn't go to school. I had to go to school to eat and hit the mountain. I'd miss 100 some days of the year, you know.
So you had to
Miss
go
that
back.
many days, you know.
You had to go back to school.
Yeah, I went to school to eat, though. So, you know, 12 of us in the family, you know, it's hard to
tell me you believe in ghosts.
raise enough garden, you know. We raised 200-pound taters, and I'd work in the garden all the time. Come on, school, I had to go to work. And if I didn't work out hard enough, he'd make me take like a rock pile. Like a rock pile here and move it over. If I didn't like it, if I did it too quick, he'd make me move it back. That's what mine was. He'd mean to it all of us.
Brings good luck? I doubt
He was, you know, he's a hateful man. I leave my dad, but, you know,
I'm out of
he mean to my mom, but, you know, that's life, I guess.
Everybody in this county knows of you. You don't follow the rules. You seem to be like this outlaw legend that lives up on this mountain all by himself. You've lived a life that a lot of us fantasize about.
Crazy life. I mean, I had a lot of hand-me-downs. I mean, I just,
Any run-ins with the law?
oh yeah, I got away with it. I've been 90-some felonies and no conviction. That's what done me, give me my 5 years the first
How many?
time. 90-some charges, but no conviction.
97?
Yeah, charges, yeah. Felony charges and no conviction. And then finally, you know, the judge said, if you don't do a bad history, you're going to get you time. So I pulled 28 months straight before I got out. And I got a couple years sentence. And then when I turned over 40, I said, Mr. Light, jail life ain't made for me. That's when I started going straight. It's still hard. It's hard to go straight, but it pays you in the long run. Sleep better than that.
You sleep better at night.
Yeah.
That's great.
And you go, you get honest. I always ask people, you know, if they didn't have it, they'll give it to you. You know, I'm trying to work for it. You know, that's what Mom always said.
What are you proudest of in your life?
Proud. I guess when I got my girl was born, that's most proud I've been in my life. My girl was born. Well, she was born in jail. But I didn't know she was mine until she was 18 months old. But that's one wish come true.
Are you a religious person?
Yeah, I believe in Baptist, yeah. I believe in God, yeah.
You ever set foot in a church before?
Yes, I have. Yeah. Several times.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the preacher. You know, he trying to tell me that something right and I know it's something wrong, you know. But, you know, everybody, you know, they evil in churches just as much as they are out here. But you can't go by that. You just kind of, you know, go by your own belief.
What do you think of the future of life here in Appalachia for people? I mean, it seems like this lifestyle is kind of fading away.
It's getting rougher. It's getting rougher. If you can't raise a garden, it's gonna be rough on you. Another 5 years down the road, the store's gonna go out of business. If you can't live off the land, you had a hard time. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be rough on you.
Yeah, you're the last of a breed, I think.
Right, yeah. Sure enough. Right here, these animals make them live on the land right now if I'm going to. Give me a year, I can live 2 or 3 on it. On my garden.
Is that right?
Canned good, you know.
It seems like drugs are taking over the community here.
It is.
It's gotten really bad in the last 20 years, right?
Yeah, I've had a lot of good close friends leave here. That crank and crystal meth. Heroin now taking over. 10 years ago, you didn't know such thing as heroin. All it was is maybe a few fields of marijuana. Now it's everywhere.
Fuck's sake,
But
Irving.
dope dealers, they meth dealers. Hey, 2 to 1 of them.
I'll warn you with a carrier pigeon next time.
What was the worst time of your life? Losing your wife?
Pardon?
What was the worst time of your life? Losing your wife?
Losing my wife, yeah. Mom and dad.
You should be.
I lost my dad, my mom in 94. Lost my dad in 2015.
Who are you closer to? Mom?
Well, I was close to my mom, yeah. Dad always stayed away all the time. Yeah.
You ever get depressed here?
Yeah, man, and yeah, if they don't, you know, you're lying to you. Yeah, I get depressed, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm hardly never alone, you know. Somebody's always here. My dog make me company. Somebody's always here.
Yeah, every time I've been here, I've been here several times, and you've
Yeah.
always had people hanging out.
And people live beside of me too. My family lives beside of me. I all live up here with my family. Ain't no outsiders live here. With my family. It's family. It's probably been my family since 1800.
Not
Early
now, I
1800s.
Sound something familiar.
Your whole family has lived in
My
Harlan
man,
County?
He's born in this old house down there on the hill here. And he born in 27. And the chimney's still standing there.
How many generations have you guys been here, you think?
5, 6. My great grandpa patented this property in 1829.
You've been a lot
And it's probably been in my family ever since. My dad, my brothers used to live here. My brother was born over there, somewhere here, and the house got burnt. And, you know,
What do you ever hear of what your grandfather's great grandparents did for money?
well, he made moonshine.
Yeah.
He said garden stuff.
You're a third or fourth generation moonshiner.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Beaver, thank you so much for talking with me.
yeah,
And good luck with your daughter and everything else that's going on with you.
that. Sure enough. Yeah,
It's great seeing you again.
yeah,
Thank you.
yes, sir. Glad to. Yeah, yes, too. And love these pictures.
I'll call you
I
back.
sure do. I actually have a couple of that book.
Sure. Sorry.
Yeah, you look great there. Those are awesome.
I put it in that box and I sell them too. Anywhere from $25 to $50 a piece.
You catch these?
Yeah.
Found anything?
I can't hear that sound anymore.
Caught a lot of them.
It's easy to freak out when you're on your
And
own.
come to Clay County, here where I'm at now, Manchester, Kentucky,
Who
ain't no
knows, but
jobs,
it seems
nothing.
so similar
And I
to
told
how
the
I've
judge
been.
that. I said, Your Honor, I said, I wouldn't be this way if you didn't have something for me to do.
We'll try and figure
And you know what's true.
I
That's
know
what's
for a
wrong with these
second it was
kids
nice
today
to
here in Clay
imagine that the
County.
past could
There's
come
nothing for them to
back.
do. There's no kind of
We always had a party at the
recreation.
same
There's no
place.
swimming pool.
Maybe you heard about
There's
it?
no pool room.
Pretty
What
well
is
known in the community.
gambling? But there's nothing.
Sounds amazing.
There's no kind of no movies.
Ballroom back then.
Just a little dead town.
Picture it.
The last time Rachel's family
All
was
right.
there,
Jerry Lee.
Reverend Foster.
Jerry Lee, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Manchester, Kentucky.
And tell me about your family. You had both
My mother
your parents
had
growing
eyes
up?
only for
Yes.
How was your childhood?
It's pretty rough.
He wouldn't stop staring at
Really,
her.
really rough. There was
Rachel.
a lot of verbal abuse
She
and
talked
I guess
with the
abuse
grace
that
and
where you
confidence of an adult.
see your parents hitting
She wore a dress
with one another,
full of
knife stabbings,
She was so beautiful.
and
How
lot of-
bad did the violence get?
it got really bad.
The
I
beginning
guess
of
it
the
got so bad my God
giving
did.
out the champagne.
My mom got sick. I think that's the reason he took her at that age, because my dad was stabbed with low knives at her, sticking in the back of her head
Well, I
where
can't
she
hear
was
that
trying to
sound
take
anymore.
up
It's
for
gone.
us kids, and
So your dad
I'm gonna look around again and then
he was really bad jealous, just like,
killed your
no, my real mom died of natural causes.
but your
I
dad
think.
killed your stepmom?
Yes, after she died, after my real mom died, he got remarried to a woman that he went to school with. And then 11 years to January the 5th of 2005, January 1st, 2005 when it happened, at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was going to work. I lived in another county. I was taking my wife to work. She ran out the door saying they thought it was me, but it was my dad for murder. He was held up in the house. I thought he'd killed himself, but he was in there with my mom. He kept her in there for 2 days before he passed out. I don't see how he could done that. But I think what he did, he just had so much, in his mind where he didn't get help. Like I won't help, cause I could turn out really bad. And I don't want to go that way. I'm gonna choose the good path if I can. But Daddy, I think he's what changed me, made me who I am today, because if people had done things, all he did was to do good in life, cause it gets harder, and it does. It's true, it gets harder.
So how far did you go in school?
To the 8th.
8th grade?
I went to high school, but they told me that you graduate in. And I graduated with unsigned diploma. I was, matter of fact, just right over there. You can see the school, Horse Creek.
And so drugs are very prevalent.
Yes, it's that
Here in
worst.
Clay County, Kentucky. What age did you get started with that?
I got started on drugs. I'm gonna say 7 years old. It's marijuana. And actually, this boy's daddy out here, and my Uncle Pete, one-armed guy, started marijuana when I was young.
And then you got into harder drugs at what age?
Yes, at
Yes. I mean, I don't
15,
so.
I think.
No.
No, at
I
17,
think
pain pills.
I sleepwalked.
And pain pills are a big thing out here, right?
Yes, I was getting well, I'm gonna take that back. I was getting a bottle of Xanaxes, me 14 years old. Went to the doctor and told him that I needed something. The baby made me nervous.
One doesn't
I was
just
down on
become a sleepwalker from one day to the next.
So you had a child at what age?
Happened when I lived here.
15.
One time in February, I ended up
I don't even,
outside.
he's the same age Jack Charles. You know, that guy in that truck out there. Just a small difference in there.
Sleepwalking episodes.
And how old was your, was it your wife or the mother of the child?
I forgot all about it. Then I
The
come
what now?
back here and it
The mother of
happens
your
again.
child was
If
how old?
I ended up in that church,
She
maybe
was,
there's a reason.
let's see, 16, I was 15.
And you guys got married?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll do
And how many children do you have?
Oh,
I got 4.
4.
Irving,
And you were around to raise them?
I like
Do what?
that you
Did you
call
raise
me
your kids?
No, I did
Merry
to
Christmas.
where I couldn't.
Merry Christmas.
I tried to raise my kids. I expected it to like a regular parent would the rest of your life, but I didn't get to do it all because my women I had was the wrong ones. I tried to raise them in a car. Because when we split up, I didn't have nowhere to take them to.
Hi.
I was thinking.
I would stay in a car for a week,
As to why you ended up there.
week at a time, you know, and I think we'd go to a lake in Corbin in Bath, wash off me and my son. But he thought we was camping, but we didn't. He didn't know what I was doing. He didn't know we didn't have a home, and him and their little dog. Now he's 19 years old. He's asking me, but my son, he knows when I'm sad. Because he seen me here not too long ago around 1 o'clock at night crying up at Mike's pit stop, arguing with the lady that I'm with now. He didn't think I kept things hidden from him, thought he was happy, but he caught me that night.
You get depressed sometimes?
Yeah, all the time now. It hurts to think, you know, if, why did it happen? Why did my daddy do that? Why didn't he do things different? But I see that now there ain't no jobs here where I'm at. He had work in out Washington. He done it for 21 years, I think. I just seen him when I come in from school, when I was getting up in the mornings. He would get us up around 6 o'clock, 6:30. I wouldn't have no time to even speak with I don't even know my dad. I left. They told me 15 years old. Then my mom died.
What drugs have you done?
I done everything they have done here. I done a lower set. I guess it'd be a lower set hydrocodone, morphine, and my favorite drug was cocaine. My favorite one, and I've done everything that you know of, I guess, except beer or alcohol. I did start drinking it to here on the last of 2012. And I just got out of prison. So I knew my home wasn't the same. I could tell. And that's when I had a son come see me in Louisville. I stayed in a halfway house. That's what helped me. That place, it saved my life, saved me and probably other people. Because I took it serious. Because I knew if I didn't go to this place or tried to get help, I'd never get it. But the guy that had run the place, he was a colored man. His name was Joe.
He's not here now.
To me, it's more or less like
Understand?
a court. But he said, Jerry, you was so quiet, I didn't even know you was here. Cause I went up to him the last week of my time there at that place
Reminds me of her.
and told him thank him for the classes and helping me realize. But he said I should have spoken up. And that same thing my dad said, or he died. You need to speak up, son, if people not gonna know you're here. So now I do, just like the day you insured me. I'll argue with you, I'll fight with you. A lot of people think I lie. I mean, when I get mad like that I did it, but I'm just trying to, I don't know how, what reason I took it. I guess I take it the wrong mode or something, like a real defensive mode like that. But I don't know if I said it wrong to her, but I did. It just hurt me.
And your prison time has been for what kind of stuff?
For escapes. I have 2 escape charges, DUIs, possession, assault charges, and FTAs, and burglaries.
What are you trying to tell me? What?
How far have you traveled around the country? Have you been anywhere?
As far as I've been in Jackson, Mississippi, and Georgia, and Cincinnati. That's as far as I've been. I never traveled. That's one of my main goals, though. Travel.
How old are you?
46.
Now
46.
I find her retainer box.
So it's difficult for a young man to find work here in Clay County, right?
Yes, it is.
You've done pretty good. You've had some jobs.
No, I never had a job before in my life here. I've always tried to.
Yeah, I mean, you've had to travel for
Yeah.
work, but you made the effort to get work.
Yeah.
Don't you dare even think
It was
that.
hard.
But to stay here in Clay County,
never
as you've chosen to do, makes your life very difficult. Right?
Underground shrine for
Really,
dead
really,
person.
really hard.
Because you're surrounded by what?
Drugs. Just,
I'm okay.
I'm surrounded by.
And you choose to stay here for what reason, you think?
That room. No! I don't give a shit about what you have to say. So?
I'm gonna say where I'm choosing to stay here is because my little brother. So I was telling him right there at the end, and you answered that question. I'm leaving here as soon if I can. I gotta get some kind of support to do it, though.
I know. I'll be
That's,
careful.
And are drugs still a problem for you today?
There are too many things that I took for
Yeah.
granted.
What are you using today?
I use Suboxone and the rotten, and I use marijuana sometimes to sleep. But the Suboxone, I think, is no different from any other drug. It's the drug. It just takes the place of another drug. But it will help you if you use it right, and it is prescribed. And it took me years to get it prescribed. I spent every dime I had to getting that drug, having to buy it off the street.
It's my father.
You know, I finally got me a doctor, and now it's my chance. If I could get me another job, I could save my money. I had to spend it on my,
And if he did, there
what would
must
you
be a
call it,
reason.
my habit every day. I get up and pick cans up. When I moved to Clay County,
Maybe I
when
have
I
to
left Somerset, I was working,
played in that really long hockey game.
and come to Clay County,
What was going on?
here where I'm at now, Manchester, Kentucky. Ain't no jobs, nothing. And I told the judge that. I said, Your Honor, I said I wouldn't be this way if you had something for me to do. And you know that's true. That's what's wrong with these kids today here in Clay County. There's nothing for them to do. There's no kind of recreation. There's no swimming pool. There's no pool room. Well, there's gambling, but there's nothing. There's no kind of, no movies. Just a little dead town. Used to be. I've heard Lively back then had a little drive-in. Now they shut it down.
Do you have any friends here?
They're all dead. This is what I got friends I got, or did have, that's why I was wanting to tell you, me go ahead. If I'd went with them, they chose, I guess, not working things, and that's what saved me. I had a job. There's a few times if I'd went with those friends, I wouldn't be here today
Hello?
talking.
Can you hear me?
Because
I'm on the mezzanine.
the same car, the same boys I knew, went to school with these boys. took my best
everywhere.
friend out and shot
They're
him
set up
in the back,
like in a scene.
killed him.
There's
They
one with
wanted
a
me to
hockey
go
stick.
with him. And if I'd went the next day,
It's my stick.
I wouldn't
If you're
have
listening
been
to me,
killed. They'd found me
whoever
shot.
set up this
They came after me.
representation,
I think I was
they want to tell me that Rachel
17, 18 years
was
old.
killed.
Now this boy got out here a few
Why my
years,
hockey
a
stick?
couple last year, or 2 years ago, I'm gonna say. He done a life sentence, 20 years.
Hello?
20 years.
Hello?
He's same age I am, boy, he is. Now he done
Irving,
20,
I swear, I'm not
25
kidding.
years.
This is a huge deal. If
I
you can
couldn't
hear
do
me,
that now.
it's time to make that phone call.
Too old.
What are your children doing?
What do they do?
What are they doing? How old are they now?
I got my oldest child, I think is 29,
It's about time.
and
Did
my
you hear
oldest
my
girl
messages?
is, I'm gonna say 20. My oldest boy is 19, and my youngest girl,
Are you drunk?
Keep going.
I think 11.
Hello?
And
I'm
you're staying here in
Irving.
Clay County?
And 2 of them are, 2 are gone in other counties. I got a girl that lives in Corbin she's in a foster home. And my boy is getting ready to be a daddy, and I'm getting ready to be a papa. That's one thing that's made me, I gotta get myself straightened out.
What does this mean?
I wanna be an example. I wanna be able to tell them to try to guide them in the wrong way, or the right way, not take that wrong path. Don't want them to be nothing like I am.
You still talk to your kids?
Yeah, but that is just when I think when they wanting something money, something where they're at. Yeah, I do talk to my kids. They are, but I try to talk to my oldest boy, the one that's getting ready to be a daddy. He's never have. He's the one that seen me. He said he want to be a killer like his papa. His name is Christopher.
What did you do,
It
Irving?
breaks my heart when he says that.
He says what?
He wants to be a killer
Like your dad?
like his papa, yeah, my dad. And but I think they got him some kind of help, and he's straightened it. He ain't no
Talk
killer.
to him. Your boss, the
I hope not,
all
but
those weird events.
he gave him a job
You were behind
when he
all
quit
of them.
school.
Someone had to bring the last piece of the memory.
And that was, let's see, it's happened maybe 2 months ago. I ain't got no way of calling him, but I used Facebook, and I was trying to explain to him I felt good because he's gonna be a dad. I was telling him everything. They go on to school while they can, or homebound. I just told my story. I told my little much some of it, but his girlfriend took it the wrong way, and she just thinks I was telling her. She took it the wrong way. I guess how I said it, not to be like I was. I chose the wrong path. I chose Laura said stuff like that, and she thought I was doing it now, but I was trying to tell my story like I was here. And we got into it, and she blocked me. But he told me, he said, Dad, she just took it the wrong way. Well, what I was trying to do is use myself as an example and describe how I did it. But she thought I was talking about
Who are you?
it's the future now, I guess. But I was talking about the past. That it destroyed my life. That I chose the wrong road. I chose to hang out with wrong friends. And it had caused me to be that way that I am now.
And what's your biggest regret?
Not finishing school. If I'd went, I could have had so many good jobs if I would have finished school, my education. The kind of work I do now, I always wanted to be like an electrician or a lineman. A good lineman is just like the best thing. A coal mine, it paid top dollar. It was dangerous. It was work for the electric company. But you had to have a high school diploma, and I couldn't get it. If I'd finished school, I would have been set right now. But
Do you regret not being a better role model for your kids?
yes, I do, because with my dad if he'd been there for me and been more provided, or a role model for me. I didn't see my dad. I didn't have nobody to be a role model. I had to learn it all on my own, every day, every step. It was so hard. Every mistake I made, I paid for it. But that next week, when I started back again, I wasn't gonna go back and do that again. But yeah, I got further and further, around 46, going almost 50 years old, and that's hard to believe. And the friends, all my friends didn't think that way. They chose the wrong path. I don't have a friend out there ever, might be a few of them that's live, or they moved away or something, but near Clay County, ain't nobody I have. I just wished I went farther
Now I remember
in school and done right. I regret it.
How much do you credit your environment versus your family for the path your life has taken?
hate your sister.
If it would change, how would,
Do you think it's the family that you had around you, the role models, or is it the fact that you grew up in here in Clay County?
I think it's the environment. A lot of my doctors told me it's the environment I'm in. What they tell me is that I could take the drug that I take now to help me is the environment, the people I'm around. And where I go is there. It's nothing but violence. And where you go, you don't have nowhere to run or hide no more. So I gotta take this to heart and learn and do it fast. Cause time going. It's going on, you can't stop it. Every mistake I made, I don't want to do it no more. It's hard, I don't want to go to jail. Cause I'm afraid right now that I feel strange, but I feel like something's wrong. And I'll probably be in jail next week. Cause this girl, she's crazy in hell over me. Said she never had nobody like me, but she shouldn't be so jealous. You know, trust, if you don't have trust in one another, you don't have nothing. Being honest, I'm honest to her. I've been married 3 times. And I've given each one of them women something very special, a baby. And they took it away from me. They split us up apart from me of being a dad to them. Something that was my lifeline for me to do good, because I wanted to do for them kids that I wanted when I was growing up. Because I see these kids in school, how'd they get to have a Mustang or that, and you know, or had a new home. I wanted to be able to tell them how to do it and what it takes to get that goal. You got to have the will and the heart to do it. Ain't nobody to help me. But it's been bad. I can go back in time. I don't know. I can change the subject. Go back. What really hurt me a lot. I played football. I was the best football player here in Clay County. I won the championship for this school. And then, I could get in trouble and not even have to worry about it. I'd set principles out in life. Then I changed school, and the bus driver took me home. I said it's happened to a lot of kids. I ain't ashamed to say it, but it's hurt me. You know, my daddy verbally hurt me bad and abusive, I guess, with his gun belts. But to my bus driver, and there's probably all the little kids just not spoke up and said it about it. You know, I guess the reason my mom and daddy let me go, they trusted that bus driver. But I told my mom, I didn't tell my daddy. She knew, but she was afraid to tell him, afraid to she.
What happened with the bus driver?
He took me home with him, let me ride little horses, little ponies. He had race horses. Then it came eating time and laid down, wanted me to get in the bed with him, and he touched me and stuff. You know, I was 13, and like I said, 14, 15, I was married. And I didn't say that when I go work. I think of that, think people knew. I was ashamed of myself. I'd get so mad. I worked so hard. I'd work harder. He hurt me. I thought of it every day of my life, pretty much. That's all I do. Second day, I had to tell you, I'm ashamed. But I'm not ashamed. I should have spoke out a long time ago. Now it's off what he's done. You know, I didn't get asked for help till it's too late. It's not too late. Oh, it's not.
It's never too late.
Because there's so much I want to say to anybody or everybody.
All right, Shirley. Well, thank you very much.
Hello.
Leonard was a very special man. His soul was big enough to love both you and Rachel.
I knew my father's soul better than anyone.
You were just a jealous kid.
Don't you dare try to make me feel guilty. You don't.
I just want you to get to the truth.
So why didn't you tell me about the
All right,
truth?
Geraldine.
Yes,
Geraldine, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
here in the mountain, Leslie County.
This business and run away.
And tell me about your childhood. You had both your parents growing up?
You
Yes.
don't know anything about what my
How would you
mother
describe
and
your
I went
childhood?
through.
Well, when I was about 5 years old,
Now you can discover
I started throwing the mountain, pull wool out, break up to my mom cooked on the wool stove, you know.
Listen,
And
I'm sorry.
my job was help get wool out and
I
help
hated
cook
her, and I hated
and
her
clean
for it,
house.
but
What
I
year was
never
this?
wanted it to
You were
end
born
like
in what
that.
year?
I
49.
understand your
I was
pain.
about 6, 7
Maybe
years
better
old
than
when I
anyone.
started in.
You had electricity and running water back
Betrayal.
then?
Oh no,
Shame,
we had petrol water,
death.
no juice. We had to take
My
our
family
clothes to the
was
river and
destroyed.
wash out on the rubbing
Just
blower.
like yours.
Really?
Yes.
How much longer does this
How'd you get
have
around?
to last?
You guys had cars back then?
We had a
else
horse.
is there to
We
know?
had a horse
You want
and sled,
well, I can't
and
give it to you.
I traveled
I've already
through the
given you
mountain
everything I could.
from Boeing Street into
Now you
Miller
have to
Fork
tie the
through the
pieces
mountain
What
and
does
buy
that
groceries
mean?
and go back
Your
into
father
Miller,
always
back
said
home
you're
in
the
the
sum of the
Florida
people you
Fork
take with
On
you.
horseback.
And
on
you
horseback. Yes.
abandoned
What did
these
your father do for a living?
He worked at a sawmill, $1 a day
Riddles, Irving.
when I was little.
Tired.
Your father made $1 a day
Yes,
You're the
working in
only
the sawmill.
one who can
yes.
put the finale to this story.
And
It's time
I
you
had 2
open the
brothers
basket.
older than I was. But we had worked in the fields, planting garden, and plowing a horse, and raising a garden, and canning it, putting it way through the
I saw
summer.
everything.
In the wintertime,
I
then we
was
have
there.
pulled our wool in for the winter
All the pieces
months.
were in front of my eyes.
And how would you stay warm in the winter? You burned
It was the
We
same
burned
as the
wool
hockey
and a little
game
bit of
I saw.
coal where we dug back out on the mountains.
Reverend Foster was so busy
So
with
there
the
wasn't no coal
preparations
miner
of
back then.
meals for the giving to the poor at the
that
Timberline
right?
Church. And my
So the
mother
coal mining started
Claire,
when?
said that we would
Well,
get
it
back from
started
the game
later
in
on,
time
you
for
know.
the distribution. She convinced my father to help the Reverend, and he'd come with his whole family. You and Rachel.
It started about this pretty well 1960.
Is that right?
I remember it like it was yesterday.
And how far did you go in school?
Couldn't find my stick.
I went to 8th grade.
I
8th grade.
panicked and I went down to the garage.
And you have children of your own?
Claire
Yes,
was there.
You got married?
Red in the face.
I got married, got a divorce.
Her look.
Raised 5 boys of my own, no help.
It was just a
When did you,
fleeting
at what
feeling.
year did you start having
That's
kids or
why
get
I
married?
erased it from my
Oh.
memory. I had to erase
How old
it.
were you when you
I was almost 17 when we got married.
17.
Her look.
It just
Back when I was young, we all lived in a
It was
2-room
like a
shed, you know, no, a shed
frightful
house had 2
creature.
rooms in it.
a disturbed, dangerous
Didn't have
animal.
no
I've never
insulation,
seen
nothing
one
like that, you
before
know.
Or after.
And it come that big flood in
even on a
1957
deathbed.
through her. It caught way up in the house, and we all had to leave home and go on our big cliffs
She
down the
put her
road.
hands on her hips, exhausted.
Yeah, it come through the
They
house,
come through the house.
Smiled.
so we had to leave.
And there
Right.
she was
We had to hit the
with my
mountains.
mom.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Did it destroy your house?
I've just been the impression
Well,
of a
yeah, it
woman.
water up
I
knee
had the
deep in
finals
it.
against
Wow.
Cold Springs High awaiting me.
Washed a lot of our chicken away in our
Throwing my
house
bag
and
into the back seat.
cows.
My hockey stick was there.
We had milk cows. We had to go out and milk.
And,
Our chickens.
and that's what you did for food?
Yes,
You grew your own food mostly?
yeah.
And how many kids do you have?
I don't.
Had 5.
Go.
One got killed in a car wreck in 2003.
I'm
We
sorry.
got there on time and I played. Best game of my life.
What was the best part of your life?
Claire was on the
Well,
benches encouraging me, cheering
I raised all my boys up on my own, and the last 20 years it's been fine, so well living.
Your life has been good?
Yeah, pretty well.
You're happy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did you ever consider leaving Appalachia?
No.
Never.
No.
Irving, don't say it. Don't
What do you love most about it?
I don't.
I love most about it, though, you got your mountains, your... I love coon hunt, swirl hunt. I ain't in no turkey hunting down deers. I love coon hunt
All the way with
and swirl
Rich's
hunt.
body.
And what do you do with raccoon and squirrel?
The baby she
You
carried
ate it.
inside
You eat
of
them.
her,
Yeah.
in the trunk,
Still to this day.
rolled
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
blanket.
What does raccoon taste like?
I didn't like them too tough, but I love swirls.
She killed Rachel.
So, I coon hunted, swirl hunted. Ginseng, root tea. And yard sell a lot, you know.
You've had your
And your sons have stayed here in Appalachia?
Yes.
And what do they do for work?
This gives you the peace.
Well,
you
they
look for.
they worked in coal mine a little bit, Randy, you know. Michael, he never did have no public job. He had to little odd job. He drove a check.
Claire,
And my oldest son, he's on check now. He's disabled, and he worked building houses.
None of your family considered leaving?
And one, my other boy, Terry, he lived in Richmond. He been down there. He got his own place down there.
So he got out.
And drives and stuff like that and do well.
I think she's still protecting me.
What's the roughest thing about living here?
But I've grown
The
up
roughest thing living here,
now. We can all be reunited at
probably in the wintertime.
It's hard to get
where are you
around.
going?
Yeah, but now here last 3 or 4 years it's been
Listen.
okay.
we can work things
But
out.
the winters, you got to
What
heat your.
happened?
How do you heat your house?
I got
All
a
the main
heater and I
players in the
got
story are dead.
cold wood.
Get it?
You
Dead.
burn coal to keep it warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are still alive. We're alive.
Have you ever traveled? You've been to other
We
states?
didn't do anything.
Yeah, I've been to other states. I've been to Illinois and Indiana, Georgia one time, and Tennessee. That's about I don't know.
But you choose to stay here.
Yeah.
I never thought it was so beautiful.
What makes Appalachians different than people you see in other parts of the country?
Where are you?
Well, to me, everybody about life, they are real friendly. They will help you if you need help.
You
And,
really will.
you know,
Cold, you'll
they watch over
die
you.
out
And
there. Irving, please.
so, you know, your neighborhood, they real nice and everybody is, and they help one another.
Yeah.
And everybody seems like, it's the same, every day doing.
Right. It's just a shame that there's no work here.
Yeah, we
Don't
never
go.
did have no work in Leicester County.
Yeah.
Never did.
You had coal mines, no?
We have our
Yeah, but
drink.
they was out fur out.
Further out.
Yeah, that was in toward Virginia and Harlan and Hazard, places like that.
Right.
Another time. Beyond this.
And some people, they lie when the mountain cut lives down, around here
Yeah, a
somewhere.
lot of
neighbor.
logging too.
Yeah,
Now this lifestyle almost seems to be left behind. Technology has taken over most of the world, but here in Appalachia, it's still very simple.
yeah,
A lot of people live without electricity, without running water,
yeah,
and they don't choose to leave.
Everything
they
seems
love it
to
here.
be becoming
yeah,
dark.
You think that'll continue?
yeah, I sure do. Yeah, wasn't that? We live in a, you look at them other big cities, they got a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you?
They fighting going on, tearing the city apart. All that thing going on right now. And California's burning down on people. And one good thing about it, there's a lot of people like to live back here in them mountains. Get away from all that.
Yeah. Now you can you can live a very isolated life here if you want to.
Yeah, And most people come from them places really like this place too.
It's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places I've seen.
Yeah, that's what everybody say.
Are you a religious woman?
I'm a holiness.
You're a what?
I'm a holiness, yeah.
Yeah. You go to church?
Yeah, when I get to, I do.
What's been the hardest thing you've had to go through in your life?
Well, the hardest thing I went through out this was giving my son up.
Yeah.
when he got killed in that car wreck. I guess that's about the hardest thing I've faced so far.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
Me? I got a birthday coming up in October. I'll be 71.
You're 71.
Yeah, I'll be 71 in October.
Wow. Do you think all the adversity you have to endure here and get through is just a struggle to survive between making money and getting around, and you know every house is a struggle just to get through the driveway almost.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's what makes Appalachians so helpful and so
Yeah,
kind?
yeah. Everybody live about the same way.
Everybody has a struggle.
Yeah. Everybody up in here, they throw a check and on food stamps and they ain't no work. What do work, you know? They probably teachers or something like that, you know. A mail truck. There ain't much work going on here in this county for people.
Yeah. And drugs have kind of taken over too.
Oh, yeah.
Drugs have been out of control here for like a couple decades,
Oh,
right?
when they bought that crank in here, that wasn't done it. Like 2 years. That was done about ending, but it's in this region anyway. Yeah, they let that owl come in here on you. Then the people was raising a little bit of pot out here in the mountains. They raised a pot to support their family and buy their clothes and shoes and stuff. They use it in the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, they come in here and rap that out on people. Then they will take you to jail for it if they catch you. And also, here come all this cocaine, heroin, and that meth and all that in here. They don't do nothing about that. And people dying in piles on that, they still don't do nothing about it. And I don't know why. They all know where it comes from, who deal with it and all that. I don't know why.
Why do you think so many people have drug abuse problems here?
Because there probably ain't no work, nothing for it to do.
Nothing to do.
That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
When I was married to my husband, he made moonshine, which I helped him a little bit there off and on. And he made it to moonshine, and but the worst problem about it, when he made it, he never was sober no more. He hit that on getting wild. So he drunk it all up. That made him fit like a horse and cat. Then it ended up in a divorce.
Do you feel like life has gotten better or worse in the last 20, 30 years?
Oh, it got better.
It's gotten easier?
Yeah, easy.
What were the biggest changes? Because you grew up in a time when there were no cars, there was no electricity.